Hey there guys, what's going on? So, yes, as with the last little video I did on the Low and Bellow and that whole vinyl unboxing business, I'm still testing out and attempting this angle. It may not show up in every video like this, but may just put it in there for some kind of effect because it works decently and is good in a pinch, so hopefully you're not minding it too much. The point of this video is not me talking about camera angles, at this point anyway, but rather to talk to you a little bit about some of my album reviews. Now, hopefully by the time you're seeing this video, there should be one up that is exclusively for YouTube that I just recorded and should have done up today for Father John Misty and I Love You Honey Bear. So if you're curious about that, hopefully that'll either be up after or before this. I'm hoping before, and then you can just, it's already up, you'll be able to check that out. But the point of this video is that I was a little unsure about how many of these I wanted to mention, but I figured I would just drop reference to both of the upcoming ones in this video and let you go and check it out for yourself. So, I have a WordPress blog. It is on the back edge of the beat.wordpress.com, and I've been adding to it here and there. It's been one of those let's throw something on there, you know, at this period of time or that period of time, and it just works itself out, and it's up there as a nice sort of its own little, hopefully, fingers crossed, future resume as a music journalism sort of a writing point to do whatever just happens to come to mind. But this week in particular, in the last couple of weeks, has been a really great time to put some reviews together and do kind of some of my initial thoughts on some albums that just rolled out. But then once I kind of looked back at it and thought, well, do I want to adapt this for YouTube and talk about it over again in a review? I kind of felt like it was excessive and just kind of repeating and kind of doubling back where I'd already said a lot of what I wanted to say, and I felt that it really held up well. So instead of redoing it here in a video, you know, getting all that together, going back, doubling back on myself, what I'm going to do instead is just mention to you guys today two excellent artists who have albums coming out here on the same day, I believe, on February the 3rd, which is next Tuesday. Two I've been very excited about and have had the pleasure of hearing them both stream in this past week. So my music lover reviewer side just immediately broke into action. I wrote some good pieces over on my WordPress page. First up being Butch Walker with Afraid of Ghosts, which I've talked about here and there on my channel, and I've name-dropped references, I'm sure, all over the place in anything I'm on social media, because the whole Butch Walker thing has just really left me incredibly excited since I saw him open for Ryan Adams at Carnegie Hall, and before with his songs like Chrissy Hind and 21 Plus and Bed on Fire and Still Drunk and Father's Day, and just song after song after song. It just really left me blown away. And I've been waiting for this one to leak, well, not leak, it did eventually leak, but it streamed first, and it's just as amazing as I'd hoped it would be. It's got such a great mix of grizzled veteran songwriting, Springsteen's Nebraska, the sensibilities of Nebraska in spots with the straight-to-tape, no overdubbing kind of warts and all production style with Butch and Ryan Adams, who are a match made in heaven with this record. And 7 records in, it's not really a point where you expect a guy to really get soft and sentimental, and that's in an amazingly great way, not in a detrimental way. But Butch really, he takes the rockers, he still incorporates the best sides of what his music is about. There's still elements of the rocker, the shredding solos from guests like Johnny Depp and Bob Mould. There's still kind of the pop elements kind of hanging around in the background. There's still all the greatest elements of Butch in here, but he really fuels and pours the experiences of his life, losing his father, traumatic events, those things, those really deep sadnesses and things, and really just gets them out and channels them onto Afraid of Ghosts. And that album, as a result of it, is just absolutely amazing for having just existed. And it really, I can already say it's going to be one of the best of 2015 without a doubt. It holds up in every spot, and I only look forward to getting to listen to it more and letting it mature kind of in my ears as it goes along, because it's one of those records that you don't mean to like be drawn to somebody else's deeply personal life events if they're so sad, you know, but there's something about sadness in us that lets out such a prolific and just strongly emotional side, and I think there's just something to that that's so easy to get drawn to. And there's just something about being able to at least relate to it in some way, or to just feel that sadness and to be like, that stirs something in me. And Butch really does that with Afraid of Ghosts. So go check my review out on it. It says things a little bit less sloppy than I did here, I think, but it's a really good one, as well as the one that came after it when the new American Aquarium album Wolves started to stream this week over on the Wall Street Journal page. Butch is streaming some on a different page, but you can go and look it up until the release date. I can't think of it at the moment. Back to American Aquarium, though. Their record Wolves started streaming this week, and after I had been first acquainted with them when they opened for Justin Townes Earl, and then I heard the amazing Burn, Flicker, Die, and kind of got wind of their story, their whole career arc that almost ended in breaking up after Burn, Flicker, Die. That was going to be their kind of their swan song, being produced by Jason Isbell, all of the above, really kind of being the end of things, but it ended up going so well and was just such a record with such blazing fire in its eyes and intensity and strength and realness that it kept them going. It propelled them into their next record. They got to have it be fan funded, so they got to go into the studio for way longer than they were used to. They got to make the record they wanted to make. They got to take it slow, eliminate things they didn't like, and I think every part about that pays off for Wolves, from typical to the typical great parts of B.J. Barham's songwriting, with songs like Losing Side of 25 and just Southern Sadness and things that really project his sort of Springsteen. I guess Springsteen's going to come up a lot in this video, kind of a Springsteen-esque knack for telling stories and kind of those dead-end Southern town kind of life, human, making it out of the worst kind of stories. But at the same time, really the record feels like it's on even more solid footing at this point in their career and their career arc, having had such success. B.J. Barham, their lead man, being married and sober, and there are a couple of great love songs on there. Man I'm Supposed to Be, which is one of the debut singles, it is absolutely such an amazing track. It blew me away hearing it live. It blew me away hearing it, watching live clips on YouTube, but it really has taken on the most life in the studio. Usually goes in the other direction, but it really has just taken on such a simmering, slow-burning, deeply resonant life in the studio, and it's an amazing cut. The title track, Wolves, beautiful little country rocker, being a drifter since the day I turned 16, you know, kind of that typical, that reaching into the best of American Aquarium songwriting without it really being typical at all. It sounds just as deep and as hammering and as intense as watching B.J. Barham up on stage with this look that could cut through steel as he stares into the crowd and just doesn't just bare his soul, but like just punches it out there for all to see. And that is one of the greatest energies and amazing things about this band. They're critically underrated. Wolves is absolutely amazing sounding. So you've got to go check out that, and you got to go check out Butch Walker with Afraid of Ghosts. It's one of those records that sometimes it comes to you in your debut, and sometimes it takes half your life to get to. And for his sake, despite the loss of his dad and the sad things that unfortunately happened to him, I think it's a great exorcism and a catharsis and a way of moving on from loss and just being able to cope with that. So, two really amazing things. Butch Walker, Afraid of Ghosts, American Aquarium, Wolves. Go check those reviews out over on my WordPress page on the backedgeofthebeat.wordpress.com. I will link it down there below. Enjoy those reviews, as well as the Father John Misty one for I Love You Honey Bear. And there's some other little reviews hidden on my WordPress page as well for Justin Towns Earl and Ryan Bingham. And there'll be more to come coming up soon, guys. So keep it here. Enjoy the videos. Enjoy the written pieces. I have to go collapse in a corner now. So come back and stay tuned.